Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Morning, boys and girls. What up, Christian? What up, Apple? So, I gotta see if I could squeeze out one more payout this month. I have this account. I got this what up, Lil Fant? I got this 50K Express account sitting at like the $3,000 balance, and I need 2 days on it. So hopefully today and tomorrow, and then I can thanks, Christian, appreciate it. And then we're gonna try and squeeze out a final payout for the month of June before we head into July. Oh, you've never passed an eval before, Apple? Don't worry. We'll help you pass an eval. Yeah, just be, that's good advice. Just be calm. When you blow your evals, are you blowing them in like a single session, or are you blowing them like slowly over time? Oh, you're definitely just sizing way too heavy, probably. What up, Georgie? Yeah, if you're blowing evals, like if you're blowing all the drawdown in a single session, then you gotta be just like using way too heavy of size. So maybe you should size down. It also depends, I mean, it depends what type of eval you're using as well. I mean, I'm sure if you're using like intraday trailing where your unrealized profits are getting accounted for, I mean, that could be an issue, but if you're using end of day and you're blowing it single session, you're definitely just sizing too heavy. You should just size down. And you don't have to pass it or hit profit target in a single day. I mean, you got to remember that pretty much on an eval, the firm is asking that you make over 100% returns. Lucid Flex on a 25K, yeah, you should use small size. I mean, what size are you typically using? Because you don't have like a crazy amount of drawdown with a 25K account. What up, Mossbo man? Appreciate it. Yeah, like 1 to 2 micro for Lucid Flux, 25k is nice. Yeah, I mean, like, if we're having these massive moves, you really only need a couple micros. You know what I mean? I mean, think about what happened on Thursday. I used 3 micros, and then I sized in another 3 micros, and then it was like a $2,200 trade. And there's other days where you can use like, I mean, we're having 1,000 tick moves constantly, so use 3 micros is $1,500. You know what I mean? That's if you hold it though. Yeah, that sucks, DS. So just so you guys know what I'm looking at, I'm paying a lot of attention right now to right around 29,685, which is where C3 is sitting right now. We're currently sitting in premium of the range that I'm looking at, so if we're going to continue down, I would expect us to actually continue down here. If we can get below 685 and hold below it, I am expecting us to run out London lows and come down towards the middle of Asia session. And then back towards like the transition area, which is around 475. In the event that we just continue pushing up and we have us holding above this 685 area at the open, which we're gonna kind of open right around here, so we got to be careful and wait to see what we're actually gonna do first. But when we if we push up, then I'm expecting us to come up towards the call wall, and then potentially 30,000. Five micros on your 25k. Yeah, with the recent volatility, sometimes I'm careful about using 5 micros with my 50k. Because if it requires, like, let's say it requires like a 50-point stop, which, that's pretty big stop loss. Relative, right? But that's still like a $500 risk. What up, Boom Bust? Good morning. So this week's going to be interesting. It's technically the first week of the new month, so we have NFP, we're going to have jolts. I think there's something else. PMI? Is that what it is? Yeah, PMI. For Tanuki, Samuel, for Tanuki's gamma map, it's sitting in a positive gamma environment. So I'm kind of watching from like here to here. If we get below this, I'm expecting us to rotate back. Yeah, D-Boss. So if we get below, basically, if we hold below 685, but we're a little bit lower than that, if we get below here and we actually hold, I'm expecting us to actually rotate lower. If we don't do that, then we might just be making our way back up towards like 29,900, 30,000 potentially. Do I go live every day? Yes, I do. Very nice. Yeah, Asia session had a pretty nice session yesterday, huh? We open up, pump 400 points, and then immediately drop back down 300 points. Yeah, Asia session's been pretty good. I just didn't trade it yesterday because I was busy doing something, but I've definitely been paying attention to Asia session recently. Do I have a role that makes me not trade within some minutes after market open? No. Like for example, D-Boss, if we're pushing down right now, right? And we open up, in the next 2.5 minutes somewhere over here, and we immediately push up back towards 685, and I watch buyers basically stall and fail. And if selling pressure re-engages to the downside aggressively, I would probably just take a short straight off the open. But I do typically try and wait. I do try and not take pre-market trades. But how did I become good at coming up with pre-market analysis? I don't know if it's good, because when you do pre-market analysis, right? At least the way that I do it, you're not trying to predict anything necessarily. You're just trying to structure like if this then that statements. So you try and plan out like if price does this, then I'm expecting it to do that. And there's bullish scenarios and bearish scenarios, and there's also a no trade scenario. So it's just to try and prepare yourself so that you at least make some decisions before your decision making quality basically begins to degrade like drastically the moment that you start clicking buttons. The moment you start entering trades, win or lose, your decision making quality begins to just like drop throughout the session. At least it does for me, and it does for many traders. So you always want to try and like make as many decisions as possible while we're calm, like right now, right? While I'm chilling before I've ever traded anything. What up, Orderflow Labs? So we're gonna open up here pretty soon. What I'm gonna be watching for again is like this area, right? So in the event that we kind of just like open up and just dump, there's nothing I can do about it. If we open up and we aggressively try and push higher and we fail, we start slamming back down to the downside, I would try and go short actually. So let's see what we do. So we're opening up. I'm going to go short right here with 3 micros. And I'm looking for us to run London lows. I'm moving it to break even. I'm looking for us to come down towards 29,490. That's kind of like... It's kind of like we just took London lows so we can snap back up at this point, but all right, there we go. So we hit break even, but I wanted to give it, I wanted to try and see if we were going to run it towards 490, but I do have to move it to break even after we start taking London lows. So we're gonna wait a second, try to give it a shot, see if it wanted to just kind of melt off the open. We pushed up back towards 685 and began to fail, so that's why I went short. But we didn't follow through. It went like I don't know, for my entry, what was that, like 50 points in a profit for a second. But we used pretty small size. We were only using like 3 micros. So now we're gonna watch to see what happens here, because now it's changing a little bit. I'm looking to see if we get back above 685. Because if we really start pushing here, then there is a pretty good chance that we actually start making our way kind of like into this area. Unless we start, I mean, we gotta understand that we could just run this pre-market highs and then start slamming down and rotating in this area. Excuse me, which would suck, but it's a possibility. Why dump, bro? Well, I don't think that anymore. I was looking at that at the open. But after we rip down, take London lows, and we start coming up, well, now I'm gonna wait. And I'm definitely less inclined to try and take any type of short positions now. I'm actually at this point watching for us to continue higher. For a little bit. At least closer towards where the call open interest is sitting. Up here. So right now I'm watching to see like if we're pulling back before we start ripping towards here, or if we're about to just like do a bunch of BS. Dude, finally, Alpha Future. I just got... Took Alpha Futures forever to pay me. It took them like 8 days, like 7 or 8 days to pay me. Or actually 7 days. It's a long time. Growing pains. We'll chalk it up for some growing pains for them. And then you see why I don't like Apex? Why? What happened? Did you get like denied a payout or something? Oh yeah. Yeah, those payouts I heard take a while. So this is kind of important right now, what we're doing. Okay. We just push down off the open. We snap back. You see some buying stepping in, but we just basically whiplashed. And then now we're pushing all the way back down towards the open. So now we got to be careful about us having 150 point or more whiplash, unless we stay above 685 and we start pushing up. But I do have to, I'm kind of more likely to kind of sit on my hands right now, because I'm suspicious about us basically just whiplashing right here. What up, Easy? I see you've been killing it. Good stuff. No, Georgie. I wouldn't. Because it was part of the opening candles and it's on MNQ, so... Which, by the way, I need to make sure my thing is correct. I was messing around with it for a video. Sometimes during the open on MNQ, you see big trades pop up, but it's just like we're it could be noise sometimes, basically. No, it's kind of just it's not necessarily about time. Like let's say we were, I don't know, like let's say that at the open, right? We push into 685 and we begin to fail and selling pressure comes in, and as we're dropping towards London lows, if we were to print like a heavy amount, like a heavy seller, and we follow through and we close, and we were looking for price to, I don't know, let's just imagine we're looking for price to come down towards Asia lows. So there's a lot of room still. Then I would use it in that scenario for like follow through. This was actually like rejection, because when this printed, we were pushing down, if that makes sense. And then like, for example, if we're going to chop in here, anytime you see us like whiplash around or you see chop, sometimes you're going to see us have big trades sitting at the extremes. So like, for example, let's say we are about to chop right now. You may see like a big trade come in, maybe when we take the orders sitting up here, or if there's just strong initiative, and then it can snap back down. And then you'll have a lot of times in chop like big trades on both sides. I don't really use those for, because I don't like trading chop in the first place. It's kind of there's just like scenarios, or requires a little bit of context. Like let's say we're chopping, right? And then we end up kind of just like chopping around, and kind of like the video you may have watched where we're chopping around, and then we go break out either side. And there's strong initiative that's breaking us out of this area and we're having follow through, then yes, I will watch those for us to potentially use them. I hope that makes sense. Sorry, I'm kind of tired this morning. I need to drink my coffee. Let's see what this next 15-minute does here in a minute. Georgie, if you see both of them happening, it's pretty good. It's pretty good if you see both of them happening at the same time. But I would just say, like, and what I mentioned in that video is don't be so, like, narrowly focused on that, because that whole thing is, like, probably the least important part about the entire trade idea. You know, like, you're not necessarily forming an entire trade idea based off of a bubble on your screen. At least I don't do that. So we're pushing up. I'm watching to see if we're gonna come towards on this new 15-minute open, if we're gonna start coming up towards the 29,890 area. Yeah, just using it as confirmation. Just to basically tell you that what you're already anticipating or reading is right, basically. I'm just being careful to see if we're gonna just range in here. It is a pretty large area though. It's like 1,000 ticks. So I'm just gonna wait. I need to try and get my 200, at least 200 bucks or 150 bucks on this account today though, if I want to take a payout before the end of the month. Well, technically, I don't even. I'll have to wait end of day. Nah, it'd still be on the 30th that I requested, so it'd still count. I mean, I'm trying to obviously get more than 150 bucks, but short for the 150. Trailing TP. Nah, I'm not gonna. I can't short it right now. I'm really trying to. I'm trying to find an opportunity where I'm gonna get more than 150. Because the balance is at 3,000, but we could go for a bigger payout if we just find a better opportunity. It would have smacked it. Yeah, if I went short when you said up here. Lock the 150 and wait for a setup. No, so far it's just been a whole lot of nothing for me. Short at the green line. Well, I'm seeing if we're gonna come up there. The video on TGR explaining order flow. Yeah, it's just trend. How do we determine what did he say? What did he say? How do we determine bullish order flow? Break a structure? I'm gonna try a short right here. But I am looking to see if I'm going 3 micros. And as we push back into kind of like the middle of the range, I'm gonna have to move it to break even. Alright, I'm gonna move it to break even, and then we're gonna see if we can ride it all the way down. At least, so what I'm watching is 685. If we can get past 685, I think we could have a pretty good opportunity to catch a decent trade with 3 micros. I mean, we're almost 100 points in profit already. The thing is that we have the new hourly candle opening, so if we end up closing bearish on this current hourly candle, again, I'm trying to target around 490, which would be about 280 points. We'll front run it by like a point. 1600 with 3 micros. Can we pull it off on a Monday? We'll see if it comes back. But you know what I'm going to do? Just because we are approaching the hourly, I'm locking in 150 bucks, bro. Yo, Apple. Did you take that short for your eval? Yeah, I know you guys are probably wondering why I went short right there. I'll explain it after we hit TP, hopefully. Unless the new hourly opens up and just rips it all the way back, which would be devastating, but 29,150. I like it. Because the only way it can get to 29,150 is it has to run through my TP, DS. I like it. We got to be careful around here, though, because this is where we failed with sellers last time. Oh, DS, you're paper trading today, huh? Well, hopefully you hit a banger paper trade. Yeah, if you guys are in this, you can get out right here because I mean, we're up like over 700 ticks. I'm just gonna hold it because why not? You know? Although when we do open up on the hourly right now, if we start pushing down aggressively at the 4-hour open, I'm trailing the stop. I'm gonna lock in like $1,000. Let's just hope it doesn't rip all the way back up. And we fail again at these lows, right? Because we can easily stall out right here and just rip it back on the 4-hour open. So just keep that in mind. The moment we start taking these lows, though, I am trailing the stop. All right, here we go. Took the lows, trailing stop. I don't want to see it bounce back. We're having some selling pressure step in. If it fails, then I'm out of this. But if we continue down, we'll hit our 1100 ticks. 1,000 tick moves like almost every day, dude. All you need is 3 micros. But what if we went in 3 minis?
Order filled.
All right, we're out of that. So we ended up getting what? Where's my stop? Right here? Like 168 points or something. All right. Well, this balance is now sitting at 4,000. We need one more day for a payout on this account, hopefully tomorrow. We're going to move over to the other account now, because I need a winning day on that one. So I hope you guys took that. Oh, yeah. I was going to explain why I took that. Okay, so just so you know, the way that I view this, right? We're sitting in premium, okay? We're sitting in premium. We're approaching the 886. I'm watching this area as we're coming up here to determine if we're going to basically push into the call wall. When we're up here, what do I see us doing? Well, we're building participation at the top. You see the POCs up here? We're trying to push. We're not really getting any type of follow through. So when I go and I look at this chart, what is this? This is a delta profile, okay? Who's actually sitting up here at the highs? Who is this participation coming from? It's coming from the buyers. So we have positive delta sitting at the extremes of the candle. They're unable to push higher. And then I'm sitting here watching this, and we start slamming down pretty hard. So the moment that this candle basically started flipping bearish, we're in location, we're in premium. Technically, overall, in my opinion, we are bearish on the lower time frames at least, or higher time frames, I mean, like the hourly. We had the overnight push up, so I'm expecting us to come down towards like 490, even deeper than that, potentially even Asia lows. And then I was also mentioning, well, okay, so this is basically the reason why I went short. I hope that makes sense to you guys. We're watching aggression from the buyers. We're in location. They're failing. Sellers start stepping in. I'm just going to go short. Small size. Stop should be realistically above where... This was pretty big, though. That was the only issue. It required a kind of a really large stop loss. It was like 75 points. So, yeah. So, let us move over to the next account. This one is already eligible for its max payout, so I just gotta lock in 250 bucks, I think, or 200 bucks. Raymond, I was looking at it on a 1 minute too, so let me show you what I was looking at so you can see it. This was at the highs, okay? So we see buying pressure, right? You see all these little bubbles. POCs are all sitting at the highs. This is where we begin to roll over. Once I started to see this, I basically went short. So we opened up, we push up, immediately started dropping down. I went short. I hope that. So I was looking at it on the 1 minute on this chart. This is a task, but the one I was just putting on my screen is deep charts. I have both of them. Apple said he's done. He made money on live and eval before tilting. Let's go, Apple. Let's go, W. W, Apple. So, Georgie and Wonderboy, I hope that made sense on why I went short up there. So, honestly, nah, I'm not gonna say it yet. I'm not gonna say it yet because the session's still going. And I still need to make money on this account. Well, once I make money on this account, I will say what was on my mind. Alright, so now we approach 490. We got out. It kind of came up a little bit, took us out, and then came down, but I'm okay with it. Just because like when we did push into this area, for my RTH profile from Friday, it was like right around the POC of it. So I had to be kind of careful. We saw sellers step in and they immediately I don't want it to reject, so I just like trail it. It was the difference between 1,000 and 1,600 or having it come all the way back. Damn, this thing's gonna drop pretty hard, huh? Well, we'll see what happens. The goated paper trade. The goated paper trade, DS. My RAM on my PC, 32. Nah, don't cry. It's okay. These moves are happening constantly. It's awesome, dude. This summer, the summer price action is way better than other summer price actions in the past. Yeah. It's like I don't know if you guys have been trading for a while, but in the past, usually what happens during summer is we have kind of like sometimes it'll range or we'll have like smaller sessions, smaller days. But we've been having some good PA. I actually made a reel about that after that first drop that happened in June 5th, where everyone was like thinking that was a one-off event. This one, I made a video on IG saying that this is just foreshadowing how the summer's about to play out. So we get this one, we get this one, we get this pump, we get this drop, we get this one, we get this one. So it's awesome, honestly. You really don't need a lot of size in these types of environments. Although if you are going to use size, you're obviously going to make a ton of money. But sometimes it just requires like a pretty decent like stop loss. So I use smaller size. But if it's going to have a bigger stop loss, chances are it's going to have a bigger TP, so So here's the problem though. I mean, at least with this account, like I need 3 winning days on this account, so there's no way that I was gonna get a payout by month end by Tuesday with this account. Um, but if we're gonna have this move, I say this every single time that we do this. We're probably going to, I mean, unless something happens, I'm not super comfortable trying to chase it. Um, but a lot of times, okay, what we're gonna see happen is this is gonna go wherever it's gonna go, okay, whether it's here or wherever, and there's a pretty good chance that we start coming back up. Then once we come back up, we're gonna do a bunch of this shit. Or it's a not that I'm trying to be a fortune teller, but it happens a lot of the time. We go from what to what to what. Balance, imbalance, balance. Balance, imbalance, rebalance, balance. So like what I'm worried about is here I am sitting on this account. I need to make 300, basically let's just say 400 bucks. Which I can easily do when the market's moving like this. But if it's just gonna drop, and then if we come back up, I don't want to end up trading the bullshit. And there's people who probably missed this short, who are waiting for it to put in a low. Then it's gonna put in a low. It's gonna come up a little bit. And then once it starts doing this, now all the people who missed out on this move is gonna start trading this. And then they're gonna blow their accounts in this. Maybe. If they don't know what they're doing. So we don't want to do that to our alpha account. I need to keep this balance above $4,500. 54,500 for the max payout I can take on this account. So we're currently watching it. We're taking Asia lows right now. Let's see if we're going to come down towards HVO. Sitting at 29,270. But yeah, big dump. We caught the top and we took ourselves out of it. Unfortunate. It's kind of what happened on Thursday too, huh? Yo, Eddie. Yo, Eddie, can you check, Rocket can't see the lives. He probably doesn't have, let me go look him up real quick. Give me 1 second. Because he was like, yo, when are you going live? I was like, I'm live right now. Oh, he didn't have the member. I added his role. Oh yeah, also some major news in the life of Thrax. Nah, I'll talk about it later. Hold on. This is getting kind of interesting. We're dropping. I need to lock in real quick. See if I could. Do we call the top of that? I don't know if he joined through WAP, but he didn't have a membership role. But he should have it now. Ooh. Ooh. Right at HVO? It's fucking huge. Oh, this is in increments of 20 points. I was kind of tempted to try and go long right there. But we're going to sit that one out. I think it's not, it might not be done going down. Although it looks pretty good. Took out Asia lows, sitting around HVL. Large buying pressure, but it's just not really getting follow through. Usually when those happen, they happen relatively fast. Like they happen actually pretty fast, usually. So when it doesn't happen quickly, it's kind of suspicious. And there's a good chance we just start continuing lower. What will be my next trade? I don't know. I'm watching right here because we're around HVL. But I'm being careful about us balancing out after we just made a large move to the downside. I mean, this move was huge, right? We got in up here. It dropped almost 2,000 ticks, almost 500 points. At a certain point, we're gonna balance out. Like we'll find value again. I don't know when, but we're gonna pay attention. Because there is a chance also that we run all this out today, which would be pretty crazy. Oh, you can't see it. There is a chance that we run all this out and actually come all the way down, which is what DS was talking about. Looking for 29,150. So this area right here is pretty key for me because we're seeing buying activity. If there is no follow through whatsoever, there is a pretty good chance we just run it out today. So we need to see what happens around here. Yeah, so far pretty clean session. We maybe I don't know. I'm like it sort of looks good for a long, but I'm honestly not convinced. The fact that it's kind of taking a while to do it is suspicious to me. Although it I guess we'll see, but I might have to sit out of it unless I see something happen as we approach back towards this area. Just would require such a huge stop loss. There's not a lot of room. Yeah, we're gonna wait. What's my consistency percentage? I don't have consistency on these accounts, if that's what you're referring to. Rocket's back in here. Dude, I didn't know that you couldn't see it. For 2 weeks, damn. No wonder why you DM me and you're like, where's everyone at? I was like, what do you mean? Very nice, Choosy. See, but at this point, okay, so because like if we were looking for long, right? This is what I am most concerned about at this point. Go down, find a low, pop up. I don't know if we stop here, here. Doesn't matter. And then we just start going like this. Because if we were really going to like V-shape this hard, it would honestly happen with like way more speed. It would happen way quicker, in my opinion. Like if we were trapping sellers down here and then just ripping it back up. And plus, something to note too is we're dropping, and then when we start coming back up, volume is. Oh, you guys can't see it. It tapered off on the move back up, which we may see it just slam down again, and potentially run out the lows. Bro, it's because your Discord username is literally your name, dude. How do you know my name? Interesting. So we'll see what happens. We're about to get the new 15-minute open. We took the lows of Asia, came in at HVO, saw buyers start stepping in aggressively. And we're coming back up. Again, I'm worried. I'm worried about what I mentioned earlier. This move, come back up and then find balance. And then end up trading potential chop. Which oh, sorry, I wasn't reading the YouTube chat. Which GEX provider do I use? I use Tanuki Trade. Use code NEVERFLAT, 10% off, 7-day free trial. How do I get GEX levels on TradingView? Tanuki Trade. As a follower from Turkey, I have a question. Trade day, earn 2 futures, funded futures, next family funded. I have not heard of any of those, my man. Oh yeah, I meant to say 14-day free trial. I don't know what I said. 10% off or 2-week free trial. Yeah. Or is it 2 weeks? Or I thought it was a week. Did they change it? Yeah, I heard a trade day before. I've never heard of earn 2 futures. Funded futures. I don't really know what that is. There's funded futures network. There's funded futures family. I've never heard of next family funded. So. Wow, are we going to V-shape it all the way back up? Look at the hourly. Ugh, that wick is nasty. Right to the HVL. Oh, that sucks. Apex, my funded futures, and Top Step. What about Alpha futures? Wow, we V-shaped this thing all the way back up, and I was thinking about it. I was just being a little bitch about it. Yeah, it's alright, T Glicky. There's always tomorrow. There's always tomorrow with, isn't it Jolts tomorrow? Yeah. Well, Jolts is not orange folder. Jolts is red folder for sure. Unless, I don't know. Yeah, hey, Choosy, you were looking at this right here, the static EM. Very nice. That's from the overnight or the pre-market. Yeah. Yeah, that was actually a really good area to look for longs. Really? Jolts is an orange folder? Since when? When did they do that? Nah, there's no way. On Financial Juice, it's not. Oh, Forex Factory? Oh, I don't use Forex Factory. I feel like Jolts is like one of those ones that deserves a red folder. It's volatile. Does anyone have a reset code for Lucid? Like a promo code or like an affiliate code? Like a free reset? All right, so we're coming back up right now into where C2 and C1 are currently sitting. So like around here. I want to see if we're actually gonna... I can't... Like, that's actually crazy we V-shaped that. Free reset. Don't have one of those. I don't know. Are we gonna have an opportunity for me to try and make 400 bucks on this account today? We may or may not. Later, Apple. So I'm watching this area basically sitting in between 630 and 700, or 630 and 680, to see if we're gonna come back down. But I'm just really worried about us doing this, and then this. All right, let's see. It's really large candles right now. I just need to get a winning day on this account. What I'm going to watch for right now is if we push up aggressively with a failure. I might short it for a scalp to just get a winning day. Yeah, volume's tapering off a little bit, but still pretty decent. We just had really high volume earlier. Usually I stop looking at trades, Georgie, around 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. But recently we've been having some decent moves, although today I think during lunch hour it may actually get a little nasty. So usually I would be done. I'm just trying to see. I'm going to give it one shot if I see something to try and get a winning day on this account. If I end up causing like a $400 loss, I'll just take it. What I want to, like, the most ideal scenario right now for me is for us to have this, like, I mean, we're stalling here, but we're also not getting any fall through. It's like I'm tempted to go short right here. But I would rather prefer us actually push past this aggressively and then slam back down. Like past these candles, but I don't know. It may just drop right here. We'll give it a shot. We'll go 3 micros. I gotta be careful though once we start pushing down a little bit more. I gotta be careful actually right around here. But my stop loss will be pretty tight. We'll risk like 300 bucks. So if we end up, which is just right above the wick of the current 5-minute. If we end up just blasting up through here, then I'll just call it a day. Whoops. 5 minute needs to stay below this POC. I'm actually going to move this to break even relatively quickly. Alright, I'm dropping it at break even. It might snap back up, but we'll just wait. Trying to get our winning day. Because I do need to be careful about us. I mean, I got taken out of it, but I'm watching around here that I need to be careful about. Up good. No way. It's up good in the chat. That's crazy. What up, bro? If anyone listens to rap music, Upgood is one of the most legendary videographers for rappers of all time. Might just be the GOAT. Yeah, I'm still in OC, but yo, Upgood, I'm moving to Thailand in December. So you gotta link up with me before December, or else the only way you can link up with me is if you fly to Thailand. Alright, well, yeah, just DM me or text me. You have my number. Uh, D-Boss, let me, I'll send you, yo, Eddie, can you send me a link to the WAP right now for the community? Or can you post it in the YouTube chat? I could post it if you just send it to me. Oh yeah, there we go. Try that, and then just click on free community. We're almost at 2,000 people. Well, took myself out of that one, huh? Shorted it up here, somewhere right here. Would have been our winning day for this account, but chickened out. Be aware of the ladyboys in Thailand. Yeah. WAP not found. Eddie, WAP not found. Here, let me see. Boom. Boom. Right here. Look, I got you. Try that one. Try that one. There we go. Are you gonna be the next Twanchai? Nah. Twanchai's goated though. It's one of my favorite pictures on my Instagram. Me and Twanchai. Yeah, see, this is what I was kind of worried about. I just where I marked this out and I said I was watching this area. But it's alright. We will wait a little bit. We'll see if there's an opportunity. Get a winning day. Call it a day. But yeah, so later this year in like December, might be a little inactive for a bit. I'm gonna try and do it as quickly as possible, but I am like kind of gonna pack all my shit into like 2 suitcases and then just move across the world. So it might get inactive during December, slightly. At least for streaming, I'll still be able to trade. I'll still like answer all your guys' questions and stuff. I'll probably still send daily outlooks while I can't stream, but I need to like see. The issue is like I need to break down my entire PC into parts, package it up, throw it in a suitcase, go out to Thailand, get a new case, new fans, new like coolant thing, rebuild it, and set it all up. Although the background behind me when I do that is going to be potentially of the skyline in Bangkok, depending on where I get a condo, which should be dope. But it'll be like nighttime every time I trade. No issues with trading prop firms in Thailand. No, I mean, I'm American, so KYC is done through my US citizenship. You know what I mean? So why Thailand? Honestly, I just like it. I basically stayed there for like 6 months. And then I was just like, you know what? I kind of want to live here. So, just gonna do it. Plus, I could stack hella cash, dude. It's cheap out. It's cheaper out there. I mean, it could get expensive, but yeah. So we booked a flight, November 29th, business class. Gonna make our way across the world, and then trade from Bangkok. The trading hours are kind of ass, I'm not gonna lie, because New York Open basically happens at like 9:30 p.m. depending on daylight savings, sometimes 8:30 p.m. All right, I'm watching this right now. I'm seeing if we're about to slam back down. Although, after this, it's rather suspicious. So the only thing, though, when I move out there is it's going to be kind of shitty hours. I'm going to basically be a night owl. I'll have to wake up around like maybe 2 p.m. and stay up until like 6 a.m., 8 a.m. Yeah, right now I'm on West Coast, so what I do right now is I go to bed at like 9:30 p.m. and I wake up at like 4:45. So it'll literally be like flipped. Alright, so we're currently pushing into where Tanuki has the call wall right now. I'm seeing if we're in the event that we push through it, I'm gonna call it a day. We'll be up 1,000 on one funded, and then this account will be down like $67, and I'll just have an extra day. The new hourly candle is going to open up here in a second. I am kind of tempted to try and go short. But it doesn't look as good as it did before. So now we need to make the decision. Do we potentially take a subpar setup to try and capture our $250 days to speed up the payout by 1 day? Or do we just be happy that we caught like 170 points this morning on the other funded? The only thing that's concerning is look at the hourly, dude. Look at that. It's a nasty hourly. I'm gonna wait for this hourly candle to open up and see how this 5 minutes is gonna close. And then we'll make our decision if we're gonna continue trading or not. Rather quickly, actually. So we're getting above it. Let's see if we're gonna hold above it or if we're gonna slam back down towards like where is this? Like 580. 600, 610 actually. Oh, sorry. How many contracts do you put on a trade when trading evals and funded? It depend. It's dynamic. It changes based off of how big the stop placement needs to be. But usually anywhere from like I don't know, sometimes 10 to 20 micros recently on an eval, or 3 to 10 micros on a funded account. But the other day on Friday, I needed a pretty big stop. I used 2 micros, you know what I mean? So it changes. I'm more watching like dollar risk, depending on stop distance. I don't know. It's not looking the best right now for a trade. What I will say, last week we started off kind of bad on stream. We were taking L's on stream, and then Thursday we caught like 260 points on stream. Friday we caught 100 points on stream, and then today we caught 170 points on stream. Not too bad. When did I decide to quit my job? Quit my job. I quit my last job a long time ago. 2022. I actually quit my last job before I even started really trading futures. I had a bunch of savings and a bunch of credit cards, and I lost it all and went deep into debt. And that took me a while to get out of it. So I don't know. I mean, I basically just like dove into the deep end like an idiot, not knowing how to swim, you know what I mean? I'm about to be 26. Davron. How's the weather in my city? Let me see. I'm American, so we speak in Fahrenheit. A high of 74 degrees with a low of 61. Partly cloudy. Wind gusts of up to 6 miles an hour. I don't know. I wouldn't know because I barely go outside. I just sit in front of my computer. All right, this is bullshit. Okay, like all of this right now is just total BS. And we're slowing down around this positive gex node. There's a chance we just do a bunch of bullshit right here. I'm not gonna take a trade here. It just feels kind of unnecessary. So, a little bit of a recap. Do I have a girlfriend? Nah, bro, I'm gay. Ah, that's gonna get clipped. No, I'm just joking. I'm not. I'm just fucking with you. No, I don't. I don't have a. Ah, fuck. That might get clipped. It's alright. No, I don't have a girlfriend. I used to. I was laughing for a second because I was like, someone's gonna. If I say that, someone's gonna think I'm fucking caught in 4K. You guys are funny. Nah, this one's deep charts. This one's ATAS. It's clipped. Done. Oh, it's a soundboard now, huh? We're gonna turn it into a soundboard for the Discord. It's alright. I knew what I was. I knew what I thought about it for a second. I had that pass my mind. I use both ATAS and deep charts because ATAS, I really use that for I use it for my main order flow analysis, ATAS. Deep charts mainly was I just want to test it out. And then I like how alpha future, so because I trade alpha futures accounts, I trade them on deep charts. The best part, literally the only reason why the only reason why I use deep charts is because of the way that you can add stop orders. Like, let's say I want to go like, it's so fast. So like if I ever want to add into a position, it's fucking money, dude. I can do it so quickly, it's ridiculous. On ATAS, what sucks is like I gotta go like this. You know what I mean? Right click and shit like a fucking loser. So it's really good like if you want to add into positions quickly. Because I add into winners. I never add into losers really, I just add into winners. So when you add into winners, you gotta be pretty fast, especially if there's a lot of momentum. So I really like the way that you can add stop orders on deep charts, and that's really the only reason why I use it. If it didn't allow me to do that, I wouldn't even use it, to be completely honest. It's really about it. Was college worth it for you? I didn't go to college. I barely graduated high school. The most gay order flow guy? Fuck. Am I gonna regret saying that? Adding into full ports is the reason you're gonna use deep charts? Hell yeah. How to confirm key level using footprint? It's kind of a big topic. Effort versus result. There you go. Acceptance versus rejection. So I'm just, does SNUS help with trading? Absolutely. Absolutely. I wouldn't be able to pull any payouts. I wouldn't be I wouldn't be profitable with the firms unless I, you know, had my morning routine of coffee and snus. Yeah, with ATAS you do have keyboard shortcuts, but it's so I can't use shortcuts, dude, because or hotkeys because like let's say I click on the chart, right? And then I want to type something in chat and I think I'm on the chat and I start typing and then I start entering positions. Oof. You know what I mean? You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Go over the trade. Yeah, I'll go over today's trade and then I'll get off. Caution sign, I'm now short NQ. 29717. Entry point expecting a sharp pullback to the downside. Bear emoji. Downwards trend emoji. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So I was looking for us at the open to I was actually short biased this morning. And the reason why is because we were sitting in premium of the current range. We had the overnight push up, and I was looking for us to basically come down back towards the EQ of Asia. It's kind of where my target was. And then second target would have been around HVL. But I tried shorting it off the open. Oh, sorry, you can't see it. So premium of current range, overnight pushes up, looking for us to come back down, run this out, come back to EQ Asia. What I was watching at the open is we were looking at a level around here. I said that if we hold below it at the open, I'm going to go short. Opens up. We push up back into this level, immediately start rejecting. I go short. Runs 50 points in profit, comes back up, hits me out at break even. We wait. We approach the top of premium. On this chart over here, I'm watching participation build in the wicks. We're not getting any type of follow through. I go look at who's actually participating up there. If we look at Delta, buyers are pushing up here. They were getting no result for their effort. We start flipping bearish. I go short. I held it for 170 points or something, so we went short. It looked like this. I entered somewhere right here. Big ass stop loss. And we ended up getting out somewhere right here, maybe 160 points for a 2R. I was aiming for 490. I was trying to front run it a little bit. That was full TP. We didn't hit it. And then we come down. I was considering taking longs down here around HVL, but I hesitated. So we push into HVL. We take Asia lows. We start seeing aggressive buying activity. But usually when these happen, they happen kind of quickly. And this one was stalling out for like 5 minutes before it actually pushed up. So we missed out of that. Then as we were approaching back in this area, I was watching to see if we were going to kind of do this up here, push up and then drop down and then do this, right? Now we push on the footprint, lifting the offer, stalling out, not going anywhere. We begin to flip bearish. I go short. I had to be careful. I marked this up. Said I got to be careful about this low volume node in this 5-minute candle. So I moved it to break even pretty quickly. Got hit at break even on this account, and then now we're just sitting here. And now we're done. Now we're watching us sit in like a... We're right around at this positive gamma cluster. If we hold above this, we may actually go and target highs and make our way up to where the call wall will change. Right now it's C2 up here, but it'll probably turn to the call wall. We may actually go end up targeting that today, if we don't just end up chopping everybody to death right here. So that's basically a recap of today. So we're up $1,000 on, we used 3 micros. We're up $1,000 on the funded account with Top Step. This one is at a $4,000 balance. It needs one more winning day tomorrow, hopefully, to pull a payout on it. Maybe we can squeeze one out at the last day of the month. This account needs 3 winning days. It already has max balance for, or it has the balance for the max payout. So I'm really just trying to milk the winning days here. We're going to leave it down 67 bucks. And I'm just going to call it a day. And then I'm going to answer your questions first before I get off. The footprint chart on deep charts is different than ATAS numbers. Yes, because deep charts is aggregating data. So just so you know, on ATAS, the way I have it set up is it's aggregating the data per point. So every point is a level. I set that on purpose. You can keep it per tick, but it requires you have to zoom in a lot to actually see it. So I usually keep it per point, especially with the volatility that we have, right? And on deep charts, it does this thing where it's, if you like, let's say you're not zoomed in enough, so you can't see the footprint. Now you're zoomed in enough, it'll aggregate all the data together. So now you have much larger numbers, right? You zoom in, now there's more numbers. You zoom in, now there's more numbers. Now you zoom in, there's more numbers. You zoom in, there's more numbers. So if you zoom in enough, it turns into per tick, see? 1275, 1250, 1225. But when you're zoomed out, it aggregates the data to make it easier to see. So that's why the numbers are different. In terms of big trades, the numbers will also be different because of the way that they're calculating the orders and grouping them together. So you're going to see slight differences, but it's basically the same thing. Is the footprint chart on deep chart in their cloud, or you designed it yourself? You mean the template? This template? I made this one myself. I made all of them myself. I use their templates and then I change them. A task better for footprint? Debatable. I think it is. If you want more like raw tick by tick order flow data and more customization, I personally think that ATAS is better. It's cheaper. So Gianni says alpha is dog shit for real for real. Wait, I'm gonna say it in his Canadian accent. Alpha is dog shit for real for real. They blew my account for no reason. Is that what you said? Is that how you type that out? With your Canadian, with your Toronto accent? I don't know if I believe that, Gianni. I'm gonna be real. I don't know if I believe that they just blew your account for no reason. I'm gonna call cap on that one. It's kind of suspicious. Look at their Discord. I'll look at it later. Alright, well, if you guys want to ask me more questions, I'm gonna get off, but if you guys want to ask me more questions, okay, we'll do this last one for Max. So how did I look at it today? How did I look at Gamma? Okay, well, today, where did we open? We opened right around this cluster. This cluster of positive. So first of all, we're in a positive Gamma environment. We were opening around this cluster. There's a cluster of positive GEX sitting here. There's open interest sitting here. There's volume sitting here. So I'm watching this area. In the event that we get below this area, then it was likely that we actually retrace. Why? Because yes, we are in a positive Gamma environment, but look at the profile. It is very thin. There's very thin distributions of positive Gamma. So in the event, I'm thinking this. My daily outlook said this today. If we hold above 685, we may make an attempt higher. That's what I was looking at. If we get below it, I'm expecting us to come down. Now, we tried to push below it at the open. We failed. We're coming up. I was watching around where my premium level was sitting, or the 886 of my fib that was sitting above value area, which was right here. Right here. And it's approaching where the call wall was currently. Oh, you guys can't see it, my bad. Right here, this line right here. See? Which is sitting above value area. So like if we were to mark this out, right, with a volume profile from the swing high to where we started coming up, value area sitting here. If we were going to, in a bearish scenario, have a failed auction to the upside, I'm looking for it to happen in this area. So once we were approaching this area and we saw what I mentioned on why I took that trade, I went short, moved it to break even when we started approaching this area because I was seeing whether or not we were going to hold above it or not. We ripped through it, so we're good. And then, yeah. And then now we're here again. So if you see, then we come into HVL, so I'm considering taking longs, max, and I just didn't do it. Although it made a lot of sense to do it, hindsight, but at the time I was kind of skeptical about it. And then because what I was paying attention to is I was going to see if we got below HVL, because at that point I'd be expecting us to run out the lows and come towards the put wall, and that was what was on my mind at the time. And now we're over here where we push back up into the same area. We were seeing a little bit of rejection, but now we're holding above it. And we're doing a bunch of bullshit now. We're going like this. We're compressing. And we're heading closer into lunch hour. Now, as long as we hold above this, in my opinion, we'll probably come up and try and run out this high. But I don't want to trade it. So, I hope that helped a little bit. I know it's kind of fast, but yeah, got it. Thanks. Cool. All right. Well, I will catch you guys. I'm so cheesed, Crody. Yo, Crody, I'm so cheesed. Oh, why you being a Gerbert? Fuck Alpha. They're Gerberts. All right. I'm done messing around. Messing with you, Gianni. I'm just messing around. All right, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.